You have to have at least the attitude that I don't consider myself inferior to you in any way. I don't care what you think. I don't care how many times you saw me lose. I don't care how many times that I messed up in public or messed up in private. If I'm still going for it, I'm still going for it, and therefore there's a chance for me to get to where I need to go. Or she does not have time for all of this sharing credit, being nice, being kind to her employees type thing. This is what has gotten her where she is being this vicious, there can only be one attitude type person, which is of course wrong, but it is how she got to where she is. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lauren, and over here we discuss life topics by analyzing characters from popular TV and film. So today we are talking about Disney's newest live action remake prequel thing, Cruella. I'm going to preface this video by saying I know a lot of people did not enjoy the movie or the idea of the movie. A lot of people didn't even want this movie to be made. But I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised after watching it. I had pretty low expectations and it wasn't terrible at all. I enjoyed it for what it was. But the thing that stood out to me the most in this movie is actually the relationship between Estella and the Baroness. Hence the topic of this video, which is overcoming hero worship. We see the relationship between Estella and the Baroness evolve throughout the course of the movie. Estella begins as an aspiring fashion designer, while the Baroness is a top fashionista of this time. Estella gets the opportunity to work for the Baroness, and she tries to take full advantage of this. She starts off as this very humble girl trying to find her place and make her mark in the fashion world. And the Baroness is her biggest idol. But as time goes on, we see her begin to develop a different attitude towards the Baroness after she sees the way she treats her employees and how she really is. She changes her tune quite a bit when she finds out a lot of information, and she becomes the Baroness's biggest competitor. So we are going to look at how she went from being this girl who's bowing and scraping to her idol to a force to be reckoned with, to the Baroness, the person that she was putting on a pedestal. So like I normally do, I give 3 tips, 3 tricks to deal with the issue at hand, overcoming hero worship. So step number 1 is to get out of worship mode in your mind. The definition of worship is reverence or adoration offered to a divine being or supernatural power. And I want to look at this word reverence. Reverence is often identified as a religious term, and a lot of times people interchange this term with fear. Fear and reverence, reverence and fear. So when we give people the title of hero or idol or things like that, what we're saying is we reverence them, and in some way we fear their awesomeness, their talent, whatever it is that we respect so much about them. And what we know about fear is many times it prevents us from being the people that we actually want to be. It can hold us back. So to get out of this mode in your mind, you have to overcome this fear, reverence, or worship that you have. There's a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote that says, "Knowledge is the antidote to fear." So the more that you know, the more that you learn, the more wisdom and know-how that you acquire, the less you will fear something. The more you know about it, the more you can begin to conceptualize and legitimize something in your head to where it's not something that is unknown and therefore causing anxiety or fear within you. Think about how many times something has been told to you, and at first it sounded very scary. You didn't understand it and you immediately kind of wanted to push it away. But then a person comes in, they break it down to you, they give you examples about it, they do this, they do that, and next thing you know,
well, yeah, I don't know why I was so messed up when you first said that. I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. But once you explained it, well, now I just don't feel that way anymore.
In Estella's case, her going to work for the Baroness, being able to shadow her, learn from her, put her skills into practice, all these nuggets she was picking up about her craft, slowly but surely begin to subside that fear that she had going in, that overly reverencing thing that she had going on when she first took this job. We see her begin to gain some traction and some confidence throughout the movie. The more that she learned about the craft, the more that she learned about the business, the more that she got some hands-on practical experience, the more she began to release herself from that worship mode that was going on in her head when she was only viewing the Baroness and her company from afar. So when you find yourself praising someone just a little too much, when you find yourself making an idol out of another person that's doing something that you want to do, that's your time and your cue to get involved in any way that you can. Take a little internship somewhere. Go on your computer and take an online class. Do something where you can get some knowledge about that subject so that it's not so intimidating or that it instills fear in you so much because it is so unknown and so overwhelming to you. Get some knowledge on the subject and you will find yourself releasing your mind from that worship mode. She would make sketches and she got used to them being critiqued. She was sewing, she was beading, she was doing all of the things. She was learning from her counterparts. She was learning from the Baroness. She was learning the ins and outs of the social elements of things. The more she knew, the more she grew. Alright, so number 2 is to always view yourself as healthy competition or at least as having healthy potential. Never put yourself so low on the rung that you feel like whatever you are aspiring to is just completely unattainable because it's so much better than you. If that's the attitude you're going to have going in, that you just cannot be the best, that you're not good enough, that you're never going to achieve fully what you want to achieve, you've pretty much already lost. You set yourself up to be a low achiever. When you're looking at someone else, look at them through the lens of what can I learn from them? Not how can I be them, not how can I get up under them and keep praising them for everything they're doing and then feeling bad about myself after I do that. No, what can I learn from them so that I can apply this to me to make myself shine brighter in my own special way? And once you begin to view yourself this way, you'll begin to carry yourself this way. And if you carry yourself this way, that will garner respect from other people, which will help you get promoted. If you guys are familiar with my channel, I do a lot of anime content on here as well. So if you guys are familiar with Naruto, there's a quote in the show. There's Naruto and Sasuke. These are two angsty rivals. And Sasuke feels that he's a lot more talented and skilled than Naruto. And they're having a battle. And they're talking, little junk talking before they get started. And Sasuke says something along the lines of, "Do you really think you can beat me? I'm better than you. You should have always known this, blah, blah, blah." And Naruto's response to this is, "No, I've never considered myself inferior to you in any way." And he says this quite confidently. And this bothers Sasuke. It irritates him, knocks him off his game a bit. That confidence that he had. Because he felt like, you should be worshiping me, basically. I've proven myself to be more talented than you in this area. How could you still have so much confidence? How could you still have so much gusto within you when I've shown you that I can do better than you? The point is, you can lose as many times as is necessary to win. You're going to take some L's before you get to the wins. Most likely, most people are not great right out of the gate. But if you view yourself as a person that doesn't even have the potential, isn't even able to achieve, to compete with the best, then you set yourself up. You have to have at least the attitude that I don't consider myself inferior to you in any way. I don't care what you think. I don't care how many times you saw me lose. I don't care how many times that I messed up in public or messed up in private. If I'm still going for it, I'm still going for it, and therefore there's a chance for me to get to where I need to go. This is the confidence and attitude that Estella starts developing within the movie. She sees how well her sketches are going over. She sees how her talent is being acknowledged by these other talented people. Now, she could have stayed in a state of, well, it's not as good as the Baroness. I mean, thank you, but it's just my little design. It's not much. She could have stayed there, but she didn't. Once she began to see how well she could actually do, she was reaching some of that potential. It was time to begin seeing herself in a different way, begin presenting herself in a different way, in a more confident way, which is what she does, to the point that the Baroness feels like she needs to check this girl because she's not about to come up in here telling me and showing me what to do when I'm the Baroness, when I'm the top fashionista around here. But this attitude that Estella has along with her talent is what gets her respect from the people around her, and in a way respect from the Baroness herself. So always view yourself as healthy competition and as having a healthy amount of potential if you're going to really go for something. And number 3 is to see things and people for what they really are. As I said before, the Baroness is not the nicest person. She treats her staff terribly. She's a murderer. That's not funny, but It's just funny that I didn't name it first. And frankly, we actually don't see her design anything throughout the movie. She's really the facilitator. She's the boss lady. She's the person that is conducting it all, keeping it all together in terms of a top-down formation. We don't see her make anything. We see her employees make things. We see Estella make things. But we don't see what the Baroness actually does. And we do know that she steals the credit from Estella several times, and we can assume that she does this with her other employees as well. And this is not uncommon. So many people that we worship are not as talented as we give them credit for, and it's one of those things that's hard to swallow. That's why a lot of people don't want to meet their heroes. They don't want to be disappointed. They want to keep that fantasy going. But that is why that is a trope. That's why that is a thing. Is because often we put people on such a pedestal that sometimes they have not earned. So if you get the opportunity to be around your hero or near your hero or something like that, take off the rose-colored glasses. Don't fall prey to the fantasy that there is just this perfect person that is doing everything that you want to do, because they're probably not. Once people show you who they are, believe them. Maya Angelou said it best. Be observant of those kinds of things. It's not that you look for flaws in people, but if you find yourself in a place where you are idolizing another person unhealthily and it's making you feel bad, then yes, you do need to be more realistic and break this thing down in your head and confirm in your mind what you already know, is that this person is just human. They make mistakes, they do things wrong, they fail, and likely if you just open your eyes and stop being in denial, you would see those things. If we recall the conversation that Estella and the Baroness had in that restaurant, right after Estella had designed that final dress that the Baroness was going to be wearing with the bugs on it. They had a very interesting conversation. The Baroness takes credit by making a toast to herself for the dress that Estella has designed. And Estella is offended. She mumbles something under her breath, and I keep wanting to say Countess. The Baroness basically in so many words tells her she does not have time for all of this sharing credit, being nice, being kind to her employees type thing. This is what has gotten her where she is being this vicious, there can only be one attitude type person, which is of course wrong, but it is how she got to where she is. Now Estella, who is already Cruella at this point, could have taken this a number of ways. She could have gone deeper into her worship and been wow, this is how you got what you got? That's so impressive. I can never do that. Or she could see the Baroness for what she really was, which was a selfish person who was willing to do way too much just to maintain what she had, who would do the same thing to you if she felt that you were a threat, which she eventually does when she finds out that Estella is Cruella and all that. So just take off the rose-colored glasses. People are people. Even the people that are doing the things and have the skills that you want, they're still just people. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all of the things. And I will see you guys in the next video.